anytime y'all need me, anytime that you know I can do anything to help, all you have to do is call me, and I'll come. That's a promise and not a say so. That's right. I can give it up. I'll be there. And I'm a man of my word, and my words is for everybody. And I want you to remember these famous words, because you're going to be hearing about it all through history. It's not one thing. It's everything. And it's everywhere.
That's right. With everybody.
And let me say this, the struggle that has taken place in recent years in Benton Harbor is a case in point. One that holds a number of lessons for the American people. The fight in Benton Harbor is a war. It's not a conflict. It's a war over whether America will have prosperity and democracy or live in poverty under the heels of the open corporate rule.
Yes.
Our challenge today must be to create this comfort. That is one of the things that we have to do. And I tell people all the time, it's more of us than them.
That's right. Come on now.
We must create this comfort in the house of the powerful around the nation, with or without violence. With an appeal for freedom, justice, equality, and understanding.
Amen.
There are too many people in a nation so wealthy today. We are not free. We are not equal. We have expanded the disparity gap between those who live in surplus and those who live in poverty.
That's right.
Anytime you have an economic system that does not feed, clothe, and house its people,
Come on now.
it must be, it's got to be, and it will be overturned and replaced with a system that meets the needs of the people.
Amen. That's right.
The unfinished business will require both courage and risk.
Amen.
We have to step out of that comfort zone that we in.
That's right now.
We're in a comfort zone and say, well, hey, I'm not going to rock this boat.
Yeah.
But let me give you some advice.
Come on now.
If you don't rock the boat,
That's right.
you're going to sink with the boat.
Just rock it.
So you are going to have to step out on this. And it will require sacrifice. Some of us might have to go to jail
Come on now.
and eat that food. Oh, it's a real challenge. You don't have to tell me. You know, the hardest part of being in jail was to eat that food. I couldn't eat that food. It's amazing when you think about it. But it will require sacrifice. We must dream above the cloud of doubt and fear.
Come on now.
We have a lot of fear.
Come on now.
But remember, it's more of us than them.
That's right.
We must continue to fight until racism and poverty will no longer exist.
Amen. That's right.
We must take over the banks. We must take over the banks. We must take over the banks. That's right. We have to show them who we are, especially here in Detroit. We have to show them and remind them every chance you get is more of us than them. The thrust of Barron County Courthouse is to physically, and it's just not Barron County, it's really around the country, is to physically remove and destroy families. Once you destroy the family, you can neutralize the whole community. And they use it through the use of the criminal justice system. We had a case where a young man planted drugs on over 300 people.
Wow.
What?
300 people. Matter of fact, he was the cop of the year for the whole state.
I believe that.
Yeah, he was the cop of the year. But we told him, because I go, real dirty. And I go to the courthouse every day. That's what I do. I court watch. We went we brought in 15 people to testify that this guy had planted drugs on him, and they wouldn't let them speak. They was on the witness list, and they wouldn't let them testify. So we're living in a time where things are going on, and we're being silent. And remember that it's not about me. It's not about you.
That's right.
It's about the future of our children.
That's right.
That's what they're trying to control. And it goes on to say every person that they can put in jail, every person who voted right, they can revoke with a felony conviction. Every person they can cause to lose their jobs by putting them on probation. Every person they can cause to lose the ability to pay for the basic necessities through imposing rigorous court causes is all part of the process. It was called Negro removal in the 60s. In Bosnia it was called ethnic cleansing. It's called today genocide.
Yes.
The removal of minority for the purpose of redevelopment of land, that is what's happening in the city of Benton. Nobody in the world, nobody in history have ever gotten anything by appealing to the moral sense of the people who was oppressing them.
That's right.
Nobody. It's not going to happen. Nobody is going to give you freedom. Nobody is going to give you justice. Nobody is going to give you equality unless you're able to take it.
Yes.
You only get what you can take. If you can't take it, you can't get it. That is the reason why they are pouncing on us today. And we're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
See, democracy has been stolen from the people. Water rights has been stolen. Poverty is growing. We the people have nothing in common with the billionaire. They're a corporation and government. We must stand together for a new America. Let me tell you a quick story. I may have said this before, but on my wife's birthday, I was taking her out to dinner, and we was going up to Kalamazoo. I think some of you know where Kalamazoo is, which is about maybe 35 to 40 minutes from my home. But before I can get to Kalamazoo, I got a call. My phone was jumping up and down. People was trying to call, get in. And they said that the SWAT team had surrounded my home. And my first question was, who do they want? I had no idea they wanted me. And they said, it's obvious they want you. They're at your house. I said, wow. So I said, well, knowing me, I'm a nice guy. I said, well, you sure they looking for me? They said, yeah, they looking in your window. And they was peeping in the windows, and they had like the SWAT team. They had them all on. We got some right across the street, some apartment buildings, and they was lined up on this apartment building, about 35 to 40. They had the streets blocked off. You see that it's not a tank. It's something that they put a military truck where they pile a lot of people into this truck.
I'm a personnel carrier.
A personnel carrier, but they said it was so big that you couldn't get up and down the street. They had the streets blocked off both ways. After people. People couldn't come out of their home, and people couldn't go in their home.
Wow.
They called martial law over a recall petition.
Oh, wow.
What we did was we recalled the mayor of Benton Harbor, and we was spanking that butt. He was losing 5-1, so they had to go and pull a rabbit out of the hat because he's the corporate puppet. They be pulling him around by his nose. But what they do, and a lot of times people don't understand, they tell you, don't mess with my people. And he was one of theirs. But he warned us. We recorded him telling everybody that if you recall me or try to recall me, I'm going to send my people out to get you. All my resources. He's talking about Whirlpool. He's talking about the prosecutor office. He's talking about the sheriff office. He's talking about the clerk's office. And those are his resources. They support someone like this. That's what they do against the people. He cares less about the people. So anytime that you're in a position
Come on now.
where you have an opportunity to help your community,
Come on.
you have an obligation to help them. This guy was a strong Whirlpool supporter. He didn't care about us. He really didn't care about himself.
Right.
All he cared about driving a nice car, what they give him. But what makes it so important, during this process, after me and my wife got through eating, we had to eat our meal because we paid money for it. So I had to complete that meal. And then I go to my attorney's office, and we talk about, he calls the prosecutor up and want to know why are they at my house. He said, well, we have a warrant for his arrest. And then he said, 5 counts of forgery, 6 counts of letting somebody sign a recall petition twice. And then his reply was, you need an army for that? It's a recall petition. That's exactly what it was, a recall petition. So my attorney informed him that I would turn myself in on Monday. It was Thursday then. He said, no, sir. We're going to get him tonight.
Wow.
They was driving up and down the streets trying to find me. Unfortunately, they ran across a guy who had a car similar to mine. And they surrounded his automobile. And I didn't even know about that until about 2-3 months later when he told me. He said, man, you almost got me killed. I said, me? How? What happened? He said, they had me surrounded. I said, it's just one of those moments, that, you can look back in history and say, well, I was part of this. So, excitement is there. So, I told the guy, we said, well, I'll turn myself in the very next day. They said, no, they're going to get me tonight. They said they didn't want me to have no more daylight. And here's the bad part. I think in their mind, they really thought they had me. I think they actually thought that they had Pinkney where they want them. Because, they was driving, I get to court, the judge says that he set bond at $30,000 for a recall petition. $30,000. Can you believe that? And then the judge gets up there and he's talking for 15-20 minutes how terrible I am. He said, Pinkney, this is the worst crime in the history of mankind. I have never heard nothing like this before. And then he was saying how terrible, you're a terrible person. You want to recall the mayor. You want to recall one of us? Is you out of your mind? I guess that's what he was trying to tell me in a way, that you're trying to recall one of us. I got something for you. So he set the bond at $30,000. Then he went on to say that I could not use the internet, nor have the internet in my home, nor my wife could use the internet. And he said, I need you to have it removed immediately. And all I could do was look, because I was in total shock. And he said it, Pinkney is a very terrible person. He's a very dangerous person, because he fights. I fight for everything. It's not one thing, it's everything with me. And I don't hold the people off. See, that's the difference between most people. You see, I don't let them intimidate me.
Amen.
You see what I'm saying?
Amen.
And like I was telling them, you might have the SWAT team and all these folks. When I got to the courthouse, I told them that, did you know that they had sent the SWAT team to my house? And this guy that was at the front door, he said, I heard about it. And then I told him, I said, but they didn't send enough men. If I would have been home, it would have been something you would have heard about. So he just looked at me in total shock, because he thought that you're supposed to be afraid. Most of us are afraid when the police come, they pull you over for a ticket. You get all nervous and jittery about this. And this is what they do.
Right.
They do this.
That's right.
They put that light on you, and your hands should go up automatically. Hands up, don't shoot. That's what you should be saying, because that's the way it is. But we were fighting. But also, I was under house arrest 24/7, and they would send a car, just to check on, make sure I'm in the house, even though they monitoring me by the satellite, not by, I got a big thing on my leg like this, and they monitor me by satellite, because I told you I'm such a notorious guy, and that's what they do. But here's what's important. They went out and got a forensics guy, basically a hired gun. That's all he is. He works for them. He told them he gets to court, a lot of drama. Some of you may have been there. It was lots of drama, because this is the exciting part. He's a star witness. He comes in. He said the recall petition, 2 different inks was used. And everybody is in shock, because we thought he had a smoking gun. I thought maybe he had a picture of me, maybe changing a recall petition or something. I thought sure he had a smoking gun. He talking about 2 different ink pens was used to sign the petition. And then but here where we dropped the bomb on. He asked him, "Can you tell us who did it?" And the guy said, "No, I don't know who did it." He said, "Well, when was it done?" The guy said, "I don't know." And he's the hired gun. I thought sure he was going to say Pinkney did it.
Oh, Lord.
I thought sure he was going to, because they star witness. They got 4 sheriff officers surrounding this guy. And he's a cop himself. He's a state police. And they urged him in here like he really, he got something. I said, wow. I said, I can't wait to hear this. I get in there and he tell me he can't tell nobody who did what. Only thing he can say that 2 different inks was used. Oh, it's shameful and disgraceful.
It is.
But the point is, this is what they're counting on.
Come on now.
They're counting on having an all-white jury that may be motivated by something other than the truth. We do things, but we don't understand the system. I've been court watching probably for over almost 15 years now. I go to the courthouse every day, and I make sure I don't give people legal advice, because they have accused me of giving people legal advice. Matter of fact, they was almost about to arrest me, because they said I gave a person legal advice, but I had to correct them. I only give them spiritual advice.
Come on now.
Because if you don't heed what I'm saying,
That's right. Come on.
you're going to have to eat that food. So this is a spiritual situation. This is not illegal. It's spiritual, strictly spiritual. And I try to tell them. I was in court today. I won't spend much longer. I just want to hit on some bullet points. Don't tell me I can go longer, because I mess out. I can go into 9 o'clock, and I know that, and believe me, you won't be asleep. But anyway, I was in court today, and we was going for a change of venue. And they came up with the Herald Palladium newspaper, which is the corporate media. Probably for the last, 3-4 months, they'll write something about me. Then they'll write something negative. Even if it don't concern me, they'll put my name in it. And we had a stack of papers like this to show the judge that it's almost impossible to select a jury, on this level. And the judge said, the judge did kind of agree with us. He said, well, if you cannot pick a jury, we will have a change of venue. So we asked for 12 preamps, and instead of they give you 6, I believe. And the judge denied that, of course, because the prosecutor didn't want it. He said no. He said he's going to be able to pick his side. He said I'll be able to pick my 12. He said he was sure of that. He said there's not a doubt in my mind I'll be able to pick my 12. But the point is that we needed more in order to make sure that they understood that we were serious about this. And he came up with something else that he decided that he was going to try to. I did a recall on the county clerk about a month ago. So the prosecutor want to use that to say that I recalled everybody. So that's what we said. And we said, so what? They arguing. I'm ready to go home. Cause like I told him, I said, let him do it. Let him bring that in. That don't mean nothing. He said, well, we don't argue. They'll try something else. I said, I agree with you, but let him have it. He said, no. He went up there. He must argue for about 45 minutes about that. I didn't care nothing about that. But the point was, they was getting whatever they wanted to have. And we have to make sure that people understand that you fight for everything.
That's right.
Everything. Because if you don't, they'll think you're a pushover. We may not have the resources to fight and stand up. But we have the manpower. It's more of us than them. And we have to, you know what, here's what I tell people a lot of time, and people, they don't listen when I tell them this. We have too many people who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without the thunder and the lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of as many waters. Power will conceive nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. We are in a fight for our life. Detroit, we have to learn to fight back. We have to say no more. We have to tell people, because any time that you do anything, they will try to crush you. And they have failed to really crush you.
Yes, they have.
Wonderful, wonderful.
They have tried and tried and tried and tried. And each time, I beat them back. The prosecutor said today, Pinkney been fighting this battle for almost 2 decades against us. And he said that, and I was sitting over there usually with my little smile, let him know that, I'm here and you don't scare me. And he said that Pinkney is the type of guy that will fight. And he was right. He's a little short guy. He didn't want to fight with me. So he told the judge and my attorney, he said, well, Pinkney fights for what's right. He stands for the people. He fights for the people. He said he understands what you're trying to do. You're trying to crush him financially. That's what you're trying to do. He said, already we have paid our attorney more than $25,000. We're looking at least or maybe another 25. But the point is, the end justifies the means. That's what we have to get into. We have to learn to fight and fight to win. You see, I don't believe in fighting and going for a tie. To me, a tie is like kissing your sister. And if you see my sister, you won't want to kiss her. Don't record that. No, she's one of my supporters. No, erase that. No, don't tell her. I'm not, she's one of my supporters. No. But yeah, I'm through dealing. But anyway, this is what I want to get this message off real fast. And I want to say this to everybody. It's time that we change the way we do business.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
We have to learn to fight back. We have to learn to say enough is enough. Until we say that, it's going to continue on this level. And here's one of the weapons that we don't utilize like we should. Our children. You see, my son, he don't want to participate in that. Well, you have to educate him.
That's right.
You have to tell him why he should.
Right.
He may not want to come out every time, but if you tell him and give him the energy and the ammunition to fight, he will stand up and fight. Because once again, it's not about you. It's about the future of our children.
That's right.
So here's what I want to tell everybody. I'm going to sit my butt down. It's time for us to stop walking around here doing nothing.
Amen.
Everybody can do something.
That's right.
I don't care who you are, what you are, you can do something.
Amen.
So my thing is you got to say enough is enough. 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 Thank you so much. Also, my trial is going to start Monday on my birthday. So those of you who can't make it, please bring. You can give me my gift now. I need a new car. So I know what people getting ready to say that they want to go down here and buy me a new car. But whatever, you get the car and I'll be happy. I tell you, I'll keep it for 10 years. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Reverend Pinkney's right on point. We do need some monetary donations for his legal defense and his travel coming here from Benton Harbor to Detroit. I know it's hard on him. A lot of stress dealing with those racist folks over there in Benton Harbor and Barron County, over there, Barron County, St. Joseph courtroom. But nevertheless, we still gonna fight the fight. We did decide, David Soul, Nabiani, and myself decided we're going to have that bus. We got some donations. We need more. And we also need money for his legal defense. The money's still going to be coming in, but we need this right away because his trial, as he said, Reverend Pinkney said, October the 27th. We would have to leave, and it's pending. I will let you all know if when you sign this sheet, I need information how to contact you by phone number. Oh, he has that sheet and I need this one too. That's for the bus. This is general information that I need in any upcoming events. I appreciate that he not just sign your name, but give me a phone number or email address how I can contact you all. Nevertheless, it's we want to leave around 5:30 in the morning. I know it sounds like, woo, that's early, but sometimes you got to get up early and fight. We really do. So don't worry about the time, because we're on a mission. We want to support Reverend Pinkney out there, let them know that we're not going to stand. Thank you, sweetie. That's my niece.
All right.
Yeah, we want to stand by Reverend Pinkney. We got your back. We want to get on that bus. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do that. Because we some warriors up in here. You know what I'm saying? We got more folks to come, so don't miss the bus. And we plan to do it 5:30 in the morning. It's pending where we want to leave from because we have to be there by 9 o'clock.